wondered what it would be like if we could grow our own fuel? It would only take 6 months to produce, it's relatively inexpensive, and it's renewable. Sounds great, right? Well, it's not so great as it sounds. This fuel source is known as corn ethanol. My name is Abby Molnar, and today I will be talking about why corn ethanol should not be used as fuel and corn should only be used as food. This is because it is highly corrosive, it depletes the ozone layer, and it depletes the money in consumers' wallets. Corn ethanol, like I said, is highly corrosive. When Jamie Friedland said in A Guide to Corn Ethanol that if we use corn ethanol as fuel, it would damage the engines of old cars, and it must be transported through trucks, boats, basically anything above ground. This means that if we have to transport it above ground, we can't transport it in pipes underground because it would rust the pipes and make them unusable. It's also very expensive to transport through boats and trucks. Collins says in Senators, time has come to end the corn ethanol mandate that if we use corn ethanol, it would damage engines of older cars. This, in turn, would make people, the person who has the car, spend more money on that car. One other thing that makes it highly corrosive is the equation. When corn ethanol mixes with oxygen, it makes carbon dioxide and water. This not only helps with the highly corrosiveness, it also contributes to the depletion of the ozone layer. When carbon dioxide, or CO2, is emitted into the atmosphere, it basically chips away from the ozone layer. In the end, in 2011, the ozone layer looked like that, and then the ozone layer in 2012 was drastically different. In the blue, that is basically where the Earth has no ozone layer. If we keep it up and keep emitting CO2 into the atmosphere, we could potentially have no ozone layer when maybe 2110 hits. Corn ethanol doesn't only deplete the ozone layer, it also depletes money in consumers' wallets. In an article called Ethanol, it talks about if we use corn ethanol for fuel, we would have to grow an extensive amount of it, which would be very expensive, and little to no corn would be used for human consumption or animal feed. In another article called Gasoline, Alternative Vehicles, it talks about how if we use corn ethanol for fuel, it would disrupt the economy here and it would disrupt the world food supply. This would be pretty detrimental to the whole entire economy here in the U.S. and around the world. all three senators, and senators' time has come to end corn ethanol mandate. All three senators agree that if we use corn ethanol as a fuel source, it would not only cost taxpayers a lot of money, but it would disrupt the environment and economic risks here. Collins says in that article that corn ethanol costed taxpayers billions of dollars. It would increase corn prices, and it would be very detrimental to the economy here. In the end, I believe that we should only use corn for food purposes and not for fuel, because it is highly corrosive, depletes the ozone layer, and depletes money from consumers' wallets. Thank you.